Hi, I'm TJ.
And I'm A-Man.
We are so pained today. Anyways, just the pain of certain thoughts of certain.
Oh, I didn't do it. Sabbath did it better.
Sabbath, yeah, Black Sabbath.
Sabbath did it better.
All right, so we are here, and we're in the upstairs of our garage. I'm shooting another video. It's been a little bit. We kind of had some issues. We couldn't recover our email, and we finally did. So
yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah, just peachy. Thank you very much for Mr. Hacker out there and stuff. But we've taken some more extreme measures, and today we want to talk about. We always talk about drugs and addiction and all of that stuff. And, there's been comments that we've made about how drug laws are based on racial prejudice. And right now we decided to kind of wait a little bit for this video too, because of the point of the fact that, well, first off, our email was hacked. And secondly, or whatever, there was all the riots going on. And so it was kind of crazy. I actually ended up in the middle of those one night when I was driving through Milwaukee.
Thank goodness I was not with.
Yes, and we literally got taken off the highway because the sheriff's department had everything closed off because, from what I understand, things may have been possibly being thrown off of bridges. So, but we are going to make this a topic today because from what I've seen, wow, kind of crazy. Houses being burned down.
I've seen videos of horse trailers being set to fire.
Yeah, I was talking, I got a chicken coop a couple weeks back from a lady, and her husband's a firefighter, and she was talking about how one house was expected of something or whatever, and a bunch of people burned it down and stuff. This is not the way to go about things if you want to be counted. You need to come about things a little bit differently, because you know what? You're not winning the battle. You're not getting anywhere and stuff.
It's making your image look worse in the end.
Right, exactly.
If you want to look like a good citizen, the first thing they're going to look at is your productivity.
Yeah, and I think for it's not just about the black people, guys.
It's people from other countries that have seen and dealt with these issues firsthand come to the United States, finding it kind of ridiculous in some extents.
Well, we have, Mexicans coming over and stuff from Mexico and stuff, and racial prejudice there. We have the Chinese, other Asian ethnic groups, Turkish people, the Arab world, as far as that goes. It always seems to be that we have some sort of racial prejudice going on somewhere, and we just seem to keep bouncing around in between things. But the riots, definitely a little bit too far. You need to start handling things in a civil manner, and I would suggest that you want to get somewhere in this country, you need to take your groups, and it's not just Black Lives Matter and stuff, it's all lives matter. And you need to get together with these other ethnic groups, and you need to form organizations and come together and make a stand. Because if realistically, I honestly believe that if you don't make your stand now, and I don't mean going out and burning down houses, you need to get your cultures together, and you need to band together
and put your voices out there.
And put your voices out there. Fill the capitals in the states. That way, get your groups together, get them out there holding up signs. There
are ways to overwhelm the government and make change without burning and
hurting people,
defacing historical statues, all that.
Yeah, I heard of the Jimi Hendrix statue too, or something like that. I saw.
Well, right now they're in the midst of taking down all the Confederate statues.
And I don't know where Aunt Jemima and her syrup falls into all of this.
Aunt Jemima, the granddaughter or whatever, actually takes pride in their name, because that's how she founded her business, and she was the first multi-billionaire African-American woman.
Can we make billionaire a word?
Can I make English my native language?
And so, but the thing is no, realistically, you need to get the governments to listen to you. And you need to handle it in a professional manner.
That way we don't have the Civil War reigniting.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
'Cause
you got to think about your own people and stuff, but you need to think about your people and the other people and their cultures and stuff because you're all here together and you really need to start working together. It's not just about one group and stuff. And it always seems like it's pinpointed at one, but it's really not just about one and stuff. When COVID came out or whatever, there were people out there making comments to the Asians and stuff like that, which is ridiculous.
But it's just another like turning fact. Like it's not just the blacks; it's
everybody.
Yeah,
and stuff of any ethnic
and
group.
it's always been like this. It's like back when the Mayans were a civilization, they sacrificed hundreds of thousands of people to their god every day, and they would enslave people, they'd capture people. The Incas, the Aztecs, the Mayans, they were all on the same boat with that.
Right. I mean, slavery goes back thousands of years. I mean, we'll just put it that way. I mean, slavery goes back thousands of years, and it's not just that it was the black people. It didn't matter who you were and stuff. If you were found to be a peasant, you were a slave, pretty much, as far as that goes. So. And I know we're just kind of like throwing things out there, or whatever, but it's true.
This comes more down to seeing the other person's point than anything.
Right. And we need the government to start funding things for your people and stuff, our people, as far as that goes.
Everybody.
Right. And you're tired of poverty in the hood and the ghetto. And stuff. Well, guess what? We need to do things about it. The only
tax breaks for big businesses.
Tax breaks for big businesses or whatever to move into your neighborhoods to give you jobs and stuff. We need the government to lighten up on some of the drug laws or whatever. And instead of putting you in jail, they need to get you part of programs or whatever to help get you jobs and stuff like that, so you're not out there dealing drugs on the streets.
Instead of going to jail, not having anything when you get out, so you just turn to crime when you get out.
Right, exactly. Oh, that is so huge.
And so, look at the homeless people who go to jail and they can't even leave because they have nowhere to go.
And thinking about my one property down in Milwaukee, the guy he recycled my property, and when he got busted by the police, he had a rap sheet like 2 pages long. And what happened? The DA left him off with a freaking disorderly conduct. This is no joke. Even though he got tagged on burglary by the police department in Milwaukee, and he walked away with a disorderly conduct. What the hell?
No therapy, no therapy, no nothing.
I mean, no program. I bet the guy never got thrown into a program to help him find a job or get on his feet.
Where you're on the littering, where you're picking up the litter, like anything.
Yeah, and the streets are not your trash can.
Oh,
that's my.
That is so
disgusting,
so bad
and stuff. I had a daughter of a tenant one day say, she took the trash out of my door and she threw the garbage on the road, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, this is Milwaukee, that's where the trash goes. No, this is not where the trash goes. Have self-respect.
Have respect for the person next door, at least.
Right.
Oh my God.
Parents, start bringing your kids up right. What is going on? You are allowing...
I hope your children will be swimming in trash at this rate in 20 years.
You teach your kids to do this stuff. You need to stand up for yourself and put the foot down on this stuff. Now, me and him had something happen to us, and realistically, it was kind of beyond our control and stuff. So I don't want to hear somebody coming back to me and saying, "Oh, well, what about this?" So it's like, listen, it's not how it played out. And no, not stick it.
Oh,
this stuff. There's always two sides to the story, and there's always the conclusioners, I like to call them. And stuff, the people that jump the gun on stuff or whatever without knowing the facts. So, but you know what? As a parent or whatever, what did I teach you about littering?
If I see a trash can, I better be using it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even if I'm not, I mean, I can go and. It's not that hard to find like a bag or a piece of clothes that you're not using, tie it up, make it a trash bag if you're like out in the woods and you don't have anywhere to throw your stuff. But at least if you can make a fire, you can You know, like your paper or whatever.
Well, I was kind of talking about inner city because of how things were going.
Yeah, well, okay, but
Yeah.
I'm talking. I do not go in the inner city.
Yeah, I know you don't. And I end up traveling it way more than I want to because I don't want to, and stuff. Yeah, that didn't come out right, but
Nah.
but I knew what I meant. But the thing is, it just happens and stuff. I have to go back and forth sometimes to go see my one daughter. So the thing is like, okay, let's get back to the writing stuff. Realistically here, people in your groups, you guys need to pick leaders. Get them elected. Get them to go into the state. Get people out there holding up signs in front of the capitals. I mean, you want to get through and stuff, that's the way you're going to get through and stuff. You're not going to get through to anybody going out and burning down a house and stuff. And in some cases, I even heard of a lady that she was at work, and next thing she knew, she found out that her house had gotten burned down, and she was already poor, didn't have any money, had nowhere to go after that, and she had kids. So, just not right.
And even if you get the government to submit, at least in some ways, it's not like you won't have people backlashing at you for what you've done to their stuff.
But you got to handle this in a manner that's reasonable and stuff. And rioting is not the way to do it and stuff. And because and you know what? This is just the beginning. I mean, something else is going to happen down the road here. You guys might as well start working together now. Get your communities together. Start pulling it. Start talking to each other. And really make the push. Because
especially with social media being such a large platform now, it's really easy.
And right now with COVID-19 and everything going on, we are in a huge time of change. And so, I mean, right now it's big. There's a lot of people out of jobs. So a lot of people just scraping by. A lot of people waiting on paychecks or whatever, that they're waiting on for approvals on stuff or whatever through their states and federal government.
And that's another thing to consider if you're one of those people who are active in the protests, is that you have to consider these people are not well off right now.
Right.
A lot of people are struggling.
Don't make the situation worse by going out and causing destruction. Or even going out in the streets with guns and stuff like that and coming racist back to the white person, because guess what? You aren't doing yourself any justice by doing something like that, because you are making yourself as bad as the guy that started this whole thing. Are we jumbled? Yes, we're jumbled. And so
it's too hot in here. For one, it's like 90 in here.
Yeah, it's pretty warm up in this garage. But right now or whatever, this is the best place to do this. And you know what? Me and him, we've been keeping ourselves pretty busy. Well, you're working pretty
38 to 40 hours a week, I think.
All of a sudden, yeah. And we have
taken up closing at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I've taken up a few hobbies kind of here in between, on top of trying to get our email back.
My hobby's the fish tank.
And then he's been dealing with some fish tank stuff, and I've been kind of tinkering around with some garden tractors, and all of a sudden I have turkeys, geese, and guinea hens in my life. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google it. So, the guinea hen thing. So, but guinea hens are pretty cool. They eat snakes and bugs. So
they're pack hunters.
They're pack hunters, and they're territorial. So it's kind of funny. And on top of that, or whatever, we've seen some wildlife in the area.
How about the eggs we've seen crack open?
Yeah. We just incubated some turkey eggs. So that was really cool in the last 24 hours. And stuff. So right now I got 3 little gobblers just kind of getting on their feet.
2 gobblers and a squeaker.
Yeah, he's a turkey, but we call him a squeaker. So, but and we got some goose eggs or whatever they're about to hatch here too. So, so it's really kind of cool. It's cool for the kids because sitting in front of the incubator as we watch them pushing out. So it's pretty awesome. Fill your time, find things to do. And stuff like that, and I still go by the thread that I believe that most addiction is based off of depression, and if many of you out there weren't so depressed, that you would be a lot happier and you wouldn't be using drugs and stuff. But you know what? We got to blame the big cheese in this government that we carry and stuff, and it's not just the big cheese, it's everyone that follows behind in politics, all the way down to our police departments, because they are all one-track minded.
The little cheeses and the big cheese
stuff. Yes, we got the little cheeses that follow behind in their packs.
They've all been diced to smaller.
But really, we need to change laws now, if we don't get them changed now, it's not going to happen, and things are going to be really bad 10 years down the road.
And I don't want to deal with that.
No, and stuff. I would prefer to move out of this country if that is what it came down to and stuff, because I don't want to see where we're going to be in 10 years, the way things are going. So, and stuff. And remember, even the drug laws and stuff being based off of racial prejudice. You know, they based one thing on the Mexicans, the other thing on the blacks and stuff, and the other thing on the Asians. It's like, come on, give it a break. It's like, really, they're stealing our women, and this is how we based laws and stuff. The only one that even made sense or whatever was the one about the heroin or whatever, from the Vietnam War and stuff, that they were worried that too many people were going to get addicted. But technically speaking, it was only 1% out of the 20% that actually used that got addicted. So, so it's really kind of crazy. But, you know, so we wanted to touch on how you guys need to come together and how we need to form committees and stuff. And we need to make the legislators see what they need to change. Because you know what? They don't hear it, they're not going to do nothing about it, and you're out there or whatever burning down houses and killing white people or whatever. You're just going to look at it like a bunch of thugs and stuff, and they're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So because you just, technically speaking, what you're doing is wrong, and it's not right. And
the same goes for the people that are in like the Ku Klux Klan or the people that share those ideologies. It's not
right. So we are America. We are
one.
Free country.
We're supposed to be one.
We are a free country that is not free, but we are a free country that needs to unite and get the right laws put in place and tactics being taken in a reasonable and legal way, so that we can all come together and have things the way that they're supposed to be. And right now, the way things are going and stuff, all you do is you feed the media. That's all you're doing and stuff. That's it. You know, and even the media or whatever, the way I look at the media is they're ran by the government. They're told what to run, what not to run, or whatever. And then even the media won't overstep its bounds because of the point of the fact that they could have their stationing taken away and stuff. But you go about things legally and do things the right way, you're going to get their attention and stuff, because guess what? There's going to be a few million of you, not just a few thousand of you in each city and stuff, and or a few hundred in each city. And so you really need to rally together at any cost, and let's get it done legally and stuff, and get laws changed so that we can get people jobs out there. You know, and plus let's get the government to give the inner cities tax breaks on big businesses and stuff like that, so that they're not afraid to come down into some of the lower income neighborhoods. And let's get the kids off the street that are out there popping crack out on the corner to every guy that comes across. You know, you wonder why your kid gets shot and stuff, or you wonder why your kid goes to a school and shoots up a school. It's because we're not doing things the right way. And you know, this isn't a cry for help. This is a plea for you to do what's right. And so let's get it straight and get it right this time. And hopefully we can all push forward together. All right, everybody, we are going to... Oh, hey, guess what?
I have another name change?
No. Okay, go ahead, shoot them our email address. And
mydepressedtombstone@gmail.com. No spaces. I don't know if Google lets spaces be a thing, but
we do know that we were hacked, and we do know that there was literally 2 things left to it, even though we know that we had more before, because I had checked in a few weeks back. Actually, it wasn't even shortly after our last video, so it's more than a few weeks, but there had actually been a few messages and stuff, and then all of a sudden we get hacked, and all of a sudden somebody decided to erase everything. Go figure. So go ahead, shoot them the email address again, and
mydepressedtombstone@gmail.com, because we're depressed tombstones now, 1 foot in the grave.
Yeah, pretty much, you know, and realistically, whatever the way the laws are going, we all have 1 foot in the grave. So go ahead and hit us up at mydepressedtombstone@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to talk with you, and we will be seeing you soon, because I got something pretty interesting coming up next week. Have a good night, everybody.